Hi, this is Ren's Perch. This is my first video. I would like to react to some finance videos. I don't know about you guys, but I'm addicted to these videos. The first thing I do when I get home after work, long, hard day's work, sit down and watch some of these guys just sharing their opinions, and I wanted to share it with everyone. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let's get into it.
If you kids can't live comfortably on $20 an hour, you have to be overspending. We got to break this down very quickly to give people.
So this is FMS Smith 319. Go check out his channel. Millennials and Gen Z earning $20 an hour living paycheck to paycheck in most cities. Boomer, if you kids can't live on $20 an hour, you are overspending. Okay, I think I'm getting a sense of what kind of video this is going to be.
Perspective into the Gen Z's lives. If you make $20 an hour in 2024, that is $40,000 a year. After taxes, that is $2,750. The average one-bedroom apartment and utility is going to run you $2,000. You cannot do that making $20 an hour. You have to rent with a roommate for about $1,200, and that's being conservative. $500 a month for groceries, which is less than $150 a week. $300 for a student loan.
$500 for groceries is a lot of money for one person. I mean, I shop for two people, and I just go to a big box store where they sell in bulk, and I spend $400 a month. Yeah, I don't know where he's getting 500 from. Maybe that's a little high. Maybe if you're shopping in one of those trendy convenience stores, then maybe $500. But yeah.
Payment, which is below average, $300 for a car payment, which is below average, $150 for car insurance, $150 for gas, $100 for personal.
Wait, $150 for car insurance? What are you driving? $150 for gas. Where are you going? How far are you commuting exactly? Like, I understand if they drive from like out of town and come in, but even then, like 150 a month for gas is a little high, I think. Like they've got to be driving trucks or something.
$50 for a cell phone is $27.50. That is paycheck to paycheck, leaving you with nothing for savings, investments, the big one, health insurance, because I'm assuming they're under 26 years old, and zero fun. Now, if they were to make $30 an hour in 2024, that's $60,000 a year. That's $3,900 after taxes. Maybe they decide to get their own place for $2,000 and everything else stays the same. They're left with $350 a month. This is the cost of living in America.
I get what he's trying to say. Living nowadays versus living, I don't know, 60 years ago, completely different. People see assets everywhere nowadays, right? Housing prices through the roof, especially here in Canada, especially in British Columbia, and especially in Victoria, British Columbia. Yeah, the housing prices are just, no one can afford anything. I mean, you would have to be a retiree to afford anything here, and a retiree that actually like was responsible throughout his life and invested. We will get into that later, but yeah, I mean, I do see his point. I really do, but these costs seem a little high. I mean, $500, and he said this is before having fun, so these are like necessities. I'm sorry, $500 for groceries for one person a month is not a necessity. They're probably buying Oreos and shit, I don't know. This seems like it's a little inflated, but I do see his point, and I kind of do agree with him. Let's go to the next video.
Yeah. So baby step one, save $1,000 for your starter.
If you guys like watching finance videos, I'm pretty sure you guys know who this guy is. This is Dave Ramsey, all right? Dave Ramsey helped me out a lot when I was going through my financial maturity. I wasn't the best person with money, but after I listened to this guy, he changed my entire view on money. I started saving a lot. I started investing a lot. I started paying off debts like you wouldn't even believe. I changed my behavior completely. Complete 180 because of this man. Now, he is a contentious subject, I think, because I do think he's a little extreme in what he teaches. I think he harps on and on about debt, which is a good thing. But then he tells people that, hey, you should just cut up all your credit cards and just never use a credit card again. Okay, like that works for some people. I totally agree. Some people just are not credit card people. They never will be. They should just cut up their credit cards, don't look at it, never look back. But that doesn't apply to everyone. Some people are really good with their credit cards. Why would you not want them to build credit? If they're really good with their credit cards, there are certain ways you can utilize those credit cards where you're not spending on frivolous things that you don't need, right? So like gas, groceries. Some people use apps to pay for rent here in Canada, and with that app, you can pay with a credit card, earn 4% cash back, build your credit score, and it's rent, so you'll pay it off immediately. I don't see a big issue with that, but I feel like he does. He does not want anybody going into debt because of credit cards or what have you, stupid car payments, so on. Now he does have a certain Christian twist to his financial advice, which is not a big deal. Like I remember when I first watched him, I kept an open mind and I watched him since I'm not personally Christian. But I do think his message is a net good for society. Let's just get back into the video.
Emergency fund, $1,000.
Yeah.
Don't touch it. It's just there for an emergency. That's it. When I first started doing this, I did not have that as baby step one. I had shut up and get out of debt.
So he created the 7 baby steps to get out of debt and build a financial future for yourself. This is what he's talking about. He's talking about the first baby step. The first baby step being saving that temporary emergency fund of $1,000 in case anything happens while you're paying off your debt.
But then people would have an alternator blow on their car that was $350. They didn't have any money because I told them to put everything on their debt. And they would sit there going, I'm broke and I got to get to work. Screw you, Dave. This doesn't work. And they would quit. And so I went, okay, we got to have a little bit of pad between you, but we can't build up a big pile of money while we got this huge pile of debt over here. That doesn't make sense either. So we're going to get just a little starter emergency fund. The humorous thing is that 30 years later, now people are saying, Dave, you need to adjust this because of inflation. No, stupid. It was never the right amount. $1,000 is not enough. And by the way, $2,000 is not enough because you're not going to live here for very long. And this is the easiest baby step. So baby step one.
Yeah, I mean, see, I disagree with him on that. I mean, if people want to adjust based on their preference, that is okay. Some people have more liabilities than you think. Some people have a mortgage, a house that's falling apart, a car that's falling apart, 3 kids. Any of them might get sick, especially in the US, Dave Ramsey. I think he should be a bit more lenient and tailor some of the advice based on the people's behavior, the situation, what have you. But honestly, I like the guy. I think he really does help people. Let's get to the next video.
You walk into the bank to open your first.
So this video is Gohar's guide. Checking versus savings account. Alright buddy, let's get it.
Account, and the teller asks checking or savings. You ask, what's the difference? When you open a checking account, you get a debit card connected to the account. You use it for everyday spending on things like gas, food, and clothes. When you open a savings account, you don't get a debit card. In fact, the bank prevents you from taking money out of the account more than a few times a month. But they give you interest, so the more money you leave in the account, the more interest you earn from the bank. But the interest is usually pennies, which is why you also open a high-yield savings account. Follow along. You walk into the bank to open...
And those are only just 2 types of savings accounts too, right? You have notice savings accounts, you have savings accounts attached to stock portfolios, right? So you can go on Wealthsimple or Questrade here in Canada, or I think Moo? Never used that one, but they're all online stockbrokers. And you hop on, you can buy your own stocks and invest your own way in the market, and you can open up those savings accounts in those markets. Now the bank is different though. So the bank will have options for you, and usually when you want to open a savings account, you have to look at fees, management fees. You have to look at some limitations, right? So some savings accounts have high yield, high interest, but you have to put a larger deposit right off the bat. You cannot just go in and be like, I want I have 5,000 I can put in, they won't open that account for you. So it really depends on the the bank. I go with EQ here in Canada. They do have notice savings accounts. Notice savings accounts being it's a savings account, high yield, good interest, but you have to give notice before you can withdraw money, right? And that's the trade-off. It's good interest, but you do have to give notice. 10 days and 30 days, I think, are the two options for EQ. And then you have their normal checking account, which is really good. That's kind of why I'm with them. You have to deposit $2,000 a month into the account, and you get 4%. So that's really good. $2,000 is just your payroll, right? If you have a salary, you get paid salary. You work 9 to 5. Yeah, set up your account with their account, and you should be good. I'm not sponsored. I'm just a big fan. I like EQ, and I've just recently switched to them actually. All right, let's look at the new video. All right, this is Caleb Hammer.
You're actually losing an additional $136.
It's like $100. $100 is not significant.
You have no.
Okay, I think I know what's going on here. I think he's the financial advisor, and she's his client, and she's just saying silly things. $100 is not nothing. $100 is a lot of money. It just really depends on how much money you're bringing in. If you're bringing in $1 million a month, $100 is just not a big deal. But if you're bringing in like $1,000 a month, you're living below the living wage, and you need to like scrape by, right? Let's see what they got to say.
Makes sense in my brain.
Is this because?
It makes
Listen,
sense in my brain.
listen,
It's like,
listen. Hey, listen. You tit.
You tit.
Listen, you have
What's that
a
mean?
disability that came from the military.
Yeah.
So because it is money that you are not working for, I think you have lost the value of the dollar. You're saying $100 is nothing. $100 in a position of someone making $1,200 a month from their actual work is
1,200. That's, oh my god. Why would you spend $100 on frivolous things if your take-home pay is 1,200? Was it 1,200 or 1,500?
in a position of this is nothing. $100 in a position of someone making $1,200 a month from their actual work.
1,200. Oh my god. Why? What is she spending it on? I bet you it's food.
It's huge. It's huge. $137
I make
for
like
your shut the
$1,400.
up. You make $1,400. That is almost 10% of your income.
You just cuss her out. That's funny. I'm guessing he's sick and tired of her bullshit. That's why. That's funny.
Saying that's insignificant, 10% of your income? 10% of your income? I want you to invest 20% of your income
Yeah.
in order to get to a good place by retirement. You're saying 10% is
Get
insignificant?
me out of this debt and I will.
No.
Get me out of this debt and I will.
That's not the point. You tit.
I wanted new windows, so I got new windows.
You tit. What does you tit mean? Why would you call someone a tit? I don't get it. Well, I mean, that was Caleb Hammer. I gotta check him out later. He's funny. He's kind of spicy. I like that. He doesn't take shit from anyone. Especially clients that just, are in denial, pretty much. They don't know how bad they have it. And they're young kids. They think they're invincible. They don't know that they're wasting away their years on stupid, stupid things. And by the time they're 50, they're going to be in a similar position, if not slightly better. So, not in good shape for retirement. It's something I think about all the time, honestly. Yeah. Well, thank you for watching. This was my first video. If you liked what you've seen, subscribe, hit the bell button, comment. I'm open for criticisms. No hard feelings here. If you would like to see something, if you don't like my glasses and are willing to fork out some money for me to buy new ones, let me know. Thank you.